Live from New Delhi, you're watching DDI Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi receives guard of honor at Kuwait Amir's Bayan Palace. Will meet the Kuwaiti leadership. Big relief for US citizens ahead of Christmas. Government shutdown averted as President Biden signs funding bill into law. Russia claims striking Ukrainian ammunition depot while Ukrainian reports repel the attacks. US carries out series of airstrikes against Houthis in Yemen. Within hours of the Houthis fired a ballistic missile at Israel. All right, first up, we get to updates on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's two-day visit to Kuwait. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi was accorded a ceremonial welcome and guard of honor at the Bayan Palace in Kuwait today. The Prime Minister was received by his Kuwaiti counterpart, Sheikh Ahmed Abdullah Al Ahmed Al Sabah. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ongoing visit to Kuwait marks a significant milestone in the India-Kuwait ties, being the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister in 43 years. Earlier on Saturday, the Prime Minister addressed a massive gathering of the Indian diaspora at a special event named Hala Modi at the Sheikh Saad Al Abdullah Indoor Sports Complex in the city. Indian nationals representing a cross-section of the community in Kuwait attended the event. Prime Minister Modi was welcomed by the community with exceptional warmth and enthusiasm. Addressing the Indian diaspora event, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India and Kuwait share a relationship rooted in civilization and mutual affection.
भारत और कुवैत का रिश्ता सभ्यताओं का है, सागर का है, स्नेह का है, व्यापार कारोबार का है। भारत और कुवैत अरब सागर के दो किनारों पर बसे। हमें सिर्फ डिप्लोमेसी ने ही नहीं कि दिलों ने आपस में जोड़ा है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighted that Kuwait helped India when it needed the most by providing liquid oxygen to the country. Prime Minister Modi added that India too supported Kuwait during the COVID-19 pandemic by sending vaccines.
जब भारत को सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ी तो कुवैत ने हिंदुस्तान को लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई दी। हिज हाइनेस द क्राउन प्रिंस ने खुद आगे आकर सबको तेजी से काम करने के लिए प्रेरित किया। मुझे संतोष है कि भारत ने भी कुवैत को वैक्सीन भेजकर इस संकट से लड़ने का साहस दिया। भारत ने अपने पोर्ट्स खुले रखे ताकि कुवैत और इसके आसपास के क्षेत्रों में खाने पीने की चीजों का कोई अभाव ना हो।
Applauding the country's achievements, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India is the fifth largest economy in the world. It is home to the world's #1 fintech ecosystem and the third largest startup ecosystem globally.
आज भारत दुनिया की 5वीं सबसे बड़ी इकोनॉमी है। आज दुनिया का #1 फिनटेक इकोसिस्टम भारत में है। आज दुनिया का तीसरा सबसे बड़ा स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम भारत में है। आज भारत दुनिया का दूसरा सबसे बड़ा मोबाइल निर्माता देश है। मैं आपको एक आंकड़ा देता हूं और सुनकर आपको भी अच्छा लगेगा। बीते 10 साल में भारत ने जितना ऑप्टिकल फाइबर बिछाया है, भारत में जितना ऑप्टिकल फाइबर बिछाया है उसकी लंबाई वो धरती और चंद्रमा की दूरी से भी 8 गुना अधिक है।
All right, DD India's Akshay Dongri joins us live from Kuwait for more. Akshay, good afternoon. Now, we've told our viewers about Prime Minister's engagements in Kuwait. This is the second day of his visit to Kuwait. He was accorded a ceremonial reception. Get us more. We believe that his engagements are currently underway with the Kuwaiti leadership. Get us more on that first.
Well, yes, Preeti, in fact, the engagement started with Prime Minister Narendra Modi being accorded a ceremonial guard of honor here at the Bayan Palace, where we are also present right now. Soon after that, Prime Minister had a bilateral engagement with the Emir of Kuwait, at whose invitation Prime Minister has arrived here in the country. Then after that, there was another engagement with the Crown Prince of Kuwait, and the last was with the Prime Minister of the country. And now, as we speak, memorandums of understanding between the two countries are being signed as far as various areas of cooperation are concerned. And soon after that, we'll also have an official press conference by India's External Affairs Ministry about the developments that have taken place, and on more details about what these MOUs have been, and what are the areas where both the countries have decided to expand their understanding, expand their cooperation. Now, we are looking at various fields when it comes to India and Kuwait, and the joint cooperation which can further enhance the relationship between the two countries. So, first and foremost, we are expecting an understanding as far as the workforce, the labor force is concerned. That has been a key relation pillar between the two countries. In fact, the expatriate community is the strongest here in Kuwait, of the Indian diaspora, with over 1 million strong Indian diaspora present and working in all spheres of life, from education sector to healthcare to pharmaceutical industry and other areas as well, where Indians have left an imprint for the past several decades and in fact centuries. So we can expect some understanding between the two countries as far as enhancing this living bridge is concerned, that is the Indian diaspora, that keeps the relationship strong between the two countries. The second can be about the healthcare industry, about pharmaceutical industry. Education is one key source of cooperation between the two countries, with about 26 CBSE affiliated schools that are functioning in Kuwait right now. Another can be on defense cooperation between the two countries, where both the countries can share their technological know-hows and state-of-the-art technology when it comes to operating, especially in the maritime field. So there are a range of areas where both the countries can expand their cooperation, and this visit is just a start to a new chapter that is set to begin with this visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Kuwait.
All right, a new chapter set to begin with this visit of Prime Minister, and we also tell our viewers that this visit is happening after more than 4 decades, after 43 years. But then
absolutely,
also when we talk of the expectations from this visit, then a lot is also being said about India strengthening its engagements with the GCC countries. Akshay, help us understand this as well.
Well, the GCC is a group of about 6 Gulf nations that are very important as far as India's energy supplies are concerned, and energy security is concerned. And currently, Kuwait is the head of the GCC grouping, and that is why also Kuwait becomes extremely important when it comes to India's energy supply and energy security needs. We have given this data to our viewers in the past as well about Kuwait being the 6th largest supplier of crude oil to India, fourth largest supplier of LPG. In fact, as far as world's proven oil reserves are concerned, Kuwait has about 6% of them, despite being a much smaller country than its neighboring countries like Saudi Arabia and Iran. And despite that, Kuwait has maintained quite friendly relations with India, along with other partner nations as well. So Kuwait becomes extremely important when it comes to the geopolitical landscape and the friendship that India has with the Gulf nations, and with enhancing the cooperation with the chair of GCC. Clearly, a message is being sent by Prime Minister Narendra Modi that India's commitment to the Gulf region, as well as the trade with the region, remains strong, and then is going to only enhance in the future years.
All right, Akshay, that was about India's, India's expectations from this visit. But then when we saw the Prime Minister address the Indian diaspora, the community event yesterday, he talked of how India, is seen on the global page. The new image of India, the new India which the world sees, and he endorsed India as a wholesome package. Get us more as to what does the Kuwaiti leadership, what does Kuwait look forward to enhancing ties with India, given the way India has been showcasing its power, its might on the global page?
Well, India's growth story is not just a talking point here in Kuwait, but in the entire Gulf region. India, being the world's fastest growing major economy, has been a talk of town even before Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit was announced. There is a lot of interest as far as Indian culture is concerned. If you come to Kuwait, you can always see people talking about Bollywood, people talking about India, people talking about Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well, and what a star he is as far as global leaders are concerned. So, yes, you're absolutely right when it comes to the Kuwaiti expectations from this particular visit. You have Kuwaiti leadership eyeing at investment opportunities in India. In fact, Kuwaiti Investment Authority has invested over $10 billion in India in the last fiscal year. When it comes to India's export to Kuwait, they have crossed 2 billion mark for the first time ever. The bilateral trade currently stands at 10.47 billion US dollar in the last fiscal year. So the trade, the relations between the two countries is enhancing. Kuwait is looking at India as a very lucrative market where their investment can grow leaps and bounds as well, as it has been happening for the past 1 decade, where the growth has been non-stop. The world is talking about India's growth story. So that is one lucrative opportunity for India too, for Kuwait too. But when it comes to other areas where Kuwait can learn from Indian expertise, we have a pharmaceutical industry, we have healthcare industry, we have Make in India initiatives that have put India on the global map in the defense sector, along with other sectors as well. You have also the education sector, you have IT, advanced manufacturing, quantum computing, advanced artificial intelligence. All of these areas where India is excelling, Kuwait sees it as an opportunity to invest. And, with this visit, it is only a matter of time when more and more investments start taking place in India, be it connectivity, be it mobility, other issues as well, other areas as well, where Kuwait is eyeing India as a very good area of investment, a good region of investment, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi providing a stable government to the entire country of 1.4 billion people. So world's largest country in terms of population with a stable government has to be a very lucrative investment opportunity for Kuwait too, and that is what exactly seems to be happening when it comes to the corporates as well as the Kuwaiti investment authorities in terms of investment and trade between the two countries.
All right, Akshay, along with your inputs, we're also showcasing the warm welcome which the Prime Minister received in Kuwait to our viewers. Get us more as to what is the contribution of the Indian diaspora in Kuwait. Even we saw the Prime Minister, how he endorsed India at the community event. But then when we talk of, people-to-people ties between the two countries, how have they strengthened? What exactly is the role of the Indian diaspora in Kuwait?
Well, the role of Indian diaspora is perhaps the most important one. A term that is used for the Indian diaspora as far as the bilateral relation between the two countries is a living bridge. Indians form the largest expat community here in Kuwait. The Kuwaiti population is around 1.5 million people, but when it comes to the Indian diaspora that lives here in Kuwait is not very less than that. It's over 1 million. So we can say that almost as much as there are Kuwaiti nationals here in the country, almost equal are the Indian expats as well. So in every sphere of life, be it education, healthcare, working at homes, or working at industries, working at oil rigs, Kuwaiti society gains a lot from the Indian diaspora. Indian diaspora has been a trusted and a very reliable community in the country. In fact, a term that is used in the country is Bharat is equal to Bharosa, which is the Indians are trusted is a trusted community and a reliable community as well when it comes to all spheres of life. So you can go around Kuwait, you can see, you can talk to the locals, you can talk to the Kuwaiti people, and whenever you tell them that you're an Indian, they automatically have things to talk with you because they are very much involved in the Indian culture, Indian traditions. They know about Indian history as well. Because it's quite interesting to note that even before the discovery of oil, trade was strong between the two countries, with Kuwait exporting Arabian horses, Kuwait exporting pearls, dates to India, and importing things like spices, textiles, timber for manufacturing, as well as having Indian diaspora people here much before the discovery of oil. To build the Kuwaiti society, and in fact, the Indian rupee was a legal tender here before 1960. So there you have it. It's not just the oil trade that has strengthened the relation between the two countries, but it has been a relation of culture, a relation of history and tradition as well.
All right, Akshay, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those details. We'll come back to you again during the day to get more on the engagements that take place in Kuwait.
Yeah.
And the Indians in Kuwait warmly welcomed the Prime Minister with colourful performances by artists during the community event. Let's listen into what they said about the meeting which they had with the Prime Minister of India.
Development and the rank of India in the world. For the India is fifth in economy. That's all.
Now Modi is always good, always brilliant. He conclude everything from the beginning to the end. Development of India, relation of Kuwait, everything very nice. We were very excited for Modi. Hip hip hooray! Modi hai to mumkin hai.
43 years, first time is coming. 43 years after 43 years, it's great. Yeah, and the speech is awesome. Yeah, and we are very lucky to see the Modi and his speech, and we are here presently. It's a lifetime achievement.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized on the strong trade and cultural ties between India and Kuwait during his ongoing visit to the Gulf nation. Speaking to Kuwait's news agency on Saturday, Prime Minister Modi highlighted the steady growth in bilateral trade and the deep-rooted relationship between the two countries, which he described as both dynamic and historic. Prime Minister Modi highlighted the key areas of cooperation such as energy, trade diversification and innovation, while urging businesses and entrepreneurs from both the countries to collaborate further. Prime Minister Modi also noted the significant contribution of the Indian expatriate community in Kuwait, emphasizing on their role as a bridge between the two nations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also visited a workers' camp in Mina Abdullah area of Kuwait with a workforce of around 1,500 Indian nationals. Prime Minister Modi interacted with cross-section of Indian workers from different states of India and inquired about their well-being. The visit to the workers' camp is symbolic because of the importance attached by Prime Minister Modi to the welfare of Indian workers abroad. In the last few years, the government has undertaken several technology-based initiatives such as e-migrate portal, Madad portal and upgraded Prasar Bharati Bima Yojana for the welfare of Indians working abroad. Also, Indian workers top the private sector as well as the domestic sector force list, according to the Indian Embassy in Kuwait. Indian exports to Kuwait reached $2 billion for the first time, while investments by Kuwait Investment Authority in India exceeded $10 billion. You're watching DDI Newshour. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, India condemns Christmas market attack in Germany in which 7 Indians sustained injuries. 38 people die in a major road mishap in Brazil. Welcome back. After the break, you're watching DD India News Hour, and all through the bulletin so far, we've told you about the Prime Minister's visit to Kuwait. Today is the second day of his visit to Kuwait. His engagements with the Kuwaiti leadership is underway. We will keep you updated once the MOUs that are being signed are made public. Meanwhile, let's turn focus to other updates which we're tracking at this hour. India's Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated and laid the foundation stone of various development projects worth over 660 crore rupees in Tripura's Dhalai district on Sunday. The Home Minister, who is on a 3-day visit to Tripura, also visited the Bru settlement camp at Haduklau in Tripura. During his interaction with the Bru settlers, Minister assured the inhabitants that those who do not have Ayushman Bharat cards will soon get their own cards. The Minister also urged the youth to take good education to prosper in life. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said that India will not permit others to impose a veto on its choices and stressed it would act in its interest without being intimidated to confirm. He was addressing an audience virtually in a Mumbai ceremony organized by South Indian Education Society, where he was conferred the 27th Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati National Eminence Award for Public Leadership.
It is the deep inherent unity of our existence that has allowed diversity to flower in our land. This should never be misportrayed as a negotiation between parts that are actually so integral. Nor can our great nation be projected as an idea. On the contrary, it is a timeless reality and an enduring feature in a changing world. Independence should also never be confused for neutrality. We will do whatever is right in our national interest and for global good without being intimidated to conform. In the final analysis, Bharat can never permit others to have a veto on its choices.
The External Affairs Minister also said that India had shown to everyone in the last decade that it had the capabilities, confidence and the commitment to advance development across the board.
Our nation and society are poised today at a crucial juncture. On the one hand, the last decade has demonstrated that we have the capabilities, the confidence and most importantly the commitment to advance development across broad fronts. On the global stage, we have established ourselves as an independent power, but one committed to global good, especially the well-being of the global South. At the same time, however, the constraints and limitations that have long been our bane still remain in play. There are viewpoints and ideologies which are more pessimistic, divisive, and even denigrating of ourselves. As a democratic polity and a pluralistic society, today, as to the course the nation will take in the coming times, both the direction and destination would depend on our identity as a people, our convictions as a society, and our vision as a nation.
Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri is in Mauritius for a 3-day visit, marking the first high-level bilateral engagement between India and Mauritius following the formation of the new government led by Prime Minister Naveen Ramgoolam. During the visit, Foreign Secretary met the former Prime Minister of Mauritius, Pravin Kumar Jagnnath. Also, discussions were held covering the special nature of India-Mauritius ties and the people-focused nature of the development partnership. The Foreign Secretary, Vikram Misri, also met Deputy Prime Minister of Mauritius and discussed ways on further consolidating the truly exceptional bilateral ties. India has condemned the attack in Magdeburg, Germany, calling the incident horrific and senseless. In a statement, the Ministry of External Affairs said that several precious lives have been lost and many have been injured, adding the Indian mission is in contact with Indians who are injured as well as their families and rendering all possible assistance. The incident occurred on Friday evening when a car rammed into a crowded market which was full of shoppers buying things for Christmas. Meanwhile, German authorities have identified a Saudi man with a history of anti-Islam rhetoric as a suspected driver in a car ramming attack at a Christmas market in Magdeburg, which killed 5 people. The suspect is a 50-year-old Saudi psychiatrist, Taleb Jawad al-Abdul Mohsen, who has lived in Germany for almost 2 decades. He was arrested at the scene, ending a bloody attack that injured hundreds in just 3 minutes. The motivation of the suspect may have been disgruntlement with the way Saudi Arabian refugees are treated in Germany, as per a prosecutor. City officials further announced that the Christmas market will remain closed this year. A 9-year-old child and 4 adults were killed in the attack, and some 200 people were wounded, 41 of whom had either serious or critical injuries, meaning the death toll could increase. The US military says it bombed missile storage facility and a command and control facility operated by Houthis in Yemen's Sana'a on Saturday. US Central Command forces said that the attack aimed to suspend Houthi operations, such as attacks against US Navy warships and merchant vessels in the southern Red Sea, Bab al-Mandeb and Gulf of Aden. Adding further, the forces also said it struck multiple Houthi drones and an anti-ship cruise missile over the Red Sea. The attack came within hours of the Houthis firing a ballistic missile at Israel, which injured more than a dozen people in a Tel Aviv park. Syria's new rulers have appointed Murhaf Abu Khasra, a key leader in the uprising that ended Bashar al-Assad's rule, as defense minister, an official source said on Saturday. Abu Khasra is the senior leader in Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, the Islamist group that spearheaded Assad's recent ousting. The announcement follows intense discussions led by Syria's de facto leader, Ahmad al-Shara, on shaping the nation's military future. Prime Minister Mohammed al-Bashir vowed to rebuild the defense ministry with rebel factions and defectors as Syria begins a fragile 3-month transitional phase. All right, in the latest from the ongoing conflict, Russia claimed that its forces struck Ukrainian military. We'll get you more on that, but at present we're getting you visuals from Kuwait. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is being bestowed with the highest honor, the Order of Mubarak al-Kabeer, by Kuwaiti leadership. This is the 20th international honor given to Prime Minister Modi by a country. The Order of Mubarak al-Kabeer is a knighthood order of Kuwait. This order is awarded to heads of state and foreign sovereigns and to members of foreign royal families in sign of friendship. As we speak, we are getting you the visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was honored with the Order of Mubarak, the Great, or Wizam Mubarak al-Kabeer. The order is conferred in 2 classes as the highest knighthood honor of Kuwait as a sign of friendship to the heads of state and Kuwait and foreign royalty. Remember, this is the 20th international honor given to Prime Minister Narendra Modi by a country. This honor has earlier been bestowed on foreign leaders like Bill Clinton, Prince Charles and George Bush. This order is the highest honor of Kuwait, which is accorded in view of the friendship. It is awarded to heads of state and foreign sovereigns and to members of foreign royal families in sign of friendship. This is the latest we are getting for you from Kuwait. Prime Minister Narendra Modi being bestowed with the Order of Mubarak the Great, or the Wizam Mubarak al-Kabeer. This is a knighthood order of Kuwait, and the Kuwaiti leadership there bestowing the honor to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is such 20th international honor that has been bestowed on Prime Minister by a country. This order was founded on 16th of July 1974 by the government of Kuwait to celebrate the memory of Mubarak al-Sabah, called the Great Sheikh of Kuwait, who ruled Kuwait from 1896 to 1915. Prime Minister Narendra Modi there in Kuwait during his visit to Kuwait, in fact, being awarded the highest honor in Kuwait. This order, as we told you, is awarded to heads of state and foreign sovereigns and also members of foreign royal families as a sign of friendship. The first recipient of this award, of this honor, was former King of Jordan, Hussein bin Talal, in 1974. As we told you, this is the 20th international honor being bestowed on Prime Minister Narendra Modi by an international country. So far, when we talk of the Order of Mubarak the Great, this order has been bestowed on 23 dignitaries so far from across the world. All right, so here we see smiling faces. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi, being awarded the highest honor as a mark of respect and friendship by Kuwaiti leadership. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 2-day visit to Kuwait. We saw him address the Indian diaspora at a community event. Also, we will, in a short while from now, tell you more about the engagements, about the meetings which the Prime Minister had with the Kuwaiti leadership, and MOUs were also signed between India and Kuwait. Remember, this visit of Prime Minister of India to Kuwait is happening after a gap of 43 years. So this marks the significance of this visit, the 2-day visit by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Kuwait. This visit comes at the invitation of His Highness Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah, the Emir of the state of Kuwait. And the Prime Minister is being bestowed with the highest honor of Kuwait during his visit to the country. This has happened during the Prime Minister's meeting which he had with the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah, bestowing the highest honor of Kuwait on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Before departing, the Prime Minister talked of the historical connection India has with Kuwait, and that has been nurtured over the generations. And his bilateral engagements, the Prime Minister will further look forward to strengthen the relationship between India and Kuwait. MOUs have been signed. In some while from now, we'll get to the details of the MOUs as they will be made public. At present, our correspondent Akshay is joining us to get us more. Akshay, we've given a gist of this honor that is being bestowed on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. On our screens, the viewers can see Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with Emir of Kuwait with the honor. Spell out more details. Let us get more from you on this.
Well, Preeti, this is in fact an honor for every Indian, not just who lives here in Kuwait, but every Indian across the world. The Order of Mubarak Al Kabeer is awarded to heads of state and foreign sovereigns and to members of foreign royal families. This is a sign of friendship. That this is in fact one of the highest awards that is given to foreign nationals. In fact, the highest award that is given to foreign nationals, and it has been previously awarded to foreign leaders like Bill Clinton, Prince Charles and George Bush as well. So, it's not given to everyone. It's given to select few sovereign nationals, heads of states that Kuwait has given, and with a list of prestigious world leaders like George Bush, Bill Clinton and Prince Charles. Narendra Modi is now one of those leaders who is not just respected but also loved as a friend of the Kuwaiti people and the Kuwaiti leadership. So this is not just an honor for the Prime Minister but for every Indian for the service that they have done for the Kuwaiti society and especially to the Prime Minister for all the steps that he has taken to bring both the countries together, to bring both the countries closer. So, this is in fact a living sign that how much important is India and Indian diaspora's role for the Kuwaiti people, for the Kuwaiti society. Given the fact that Indian diaspora form over a 10 lakh or a million here working in all spheres of life. Everywhere where you go in Kuwait, you'll find somebody who speaks either Hindi, Malayalam, or Kannada, or Tamil, one of the Indian languages. In fact, even Kuwaiti people, working with their Indian, friends and other workers who are working here, they also now understand, a little bit of Hindi or some of the other Indian language. So that is the living example of how important India is and how important the Indian diaspora is for the society, and the steps that are being taken by the Prime Minister are certainly going to enhance the relationship between the two countries, the friendship between the two countries as well. Preeti?
Yes, Akshay. Now, when we talk of the awards and the accolades that have been bestowed on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, this is the 20th such honor by an international country that has been bestowed on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. A stamp enough to on the fact the way India has, it's not just about Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as he has also put earlier. It is about the Indians and the endorsement of India on the global page that is being accepted by the world now, isn't it?
There is no doubt about it. Standing of every Indian has moved so much in the last 10 years that it is unrecognizable. India 10 years back and India today is unrecognizable. The change that has taken place, the global standing of every Indian that has improved under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is unmatched. In fact, the leaps and bounds India has grown, making India in true sense a Vishwaguru. This is a living testimony. The kind of honor, the kind of awards that have been given to Prime Minister Narendra Modi is not just for him but for every Indian, and his leadership as well, that has enabled every Indian to stand apart as far as the world is concerned. Today, Bharat means Bharosa. Today, India means trust. And that is what we are seeing here in Kuwait as well, with Narendra Modi visiting the country and, taking all the steps that are required to enhance the relationship and the friendship between the two communities and the two countries.
All right, Akshay, yes, you're talking of, how this is important given the fact that this is the 20th honor which is being bestowed on Prime Minister. Now, what is it that has made the world sit back and notice about India and the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Because this is not for the first time that such an honor has been bestowed on the Prime Minister. As a reporter, as a journalist, how do you evaluate, what all has been done under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership for the country that has made the world sit back and notice India on the global page now?
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has put India there on the map of every country, of everyone in the world, to recognize the contributions India has done, India has made. In fact, historically, India has been a very important country, but the contribution that the Indian society has made towards the world were fading away. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi voiced it again. He in fact made India voice of the global south. He in fact made India a country that is significant, a country that counts, a country that has made change in the world, be it the COVID-19 pandemic, be it the way India has conducted the G20 summit, bringing voices such as bringing countries together on the same table to agree to same points, such as Russia and US at a time when both the countries have been embroiled in conflict when it comes to the Ukraine crisis or the other conflicts that we are seeing around the world. India is one country that is looked at when it comes to conflict resolution, when it comes to global peace, when it comes to global growth. That all these contributions are the reason why, whenever Prime Minister Narendra Modi goes to a foreign country, he is in fact a star that has come from India, and he is given all of these honors in a recognition to the work that he has done towards not just global peace but global growth as well.
All right, Akshay, stay with us. For our viewers who've just joined in, these are the visuals we are getting for you from Kuwait, and these are the visuals after Prime Minister's meeting with the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah. These visuals show us how Prime Minister Narendra Modi was honoured with the Order of Mubarak the Great, or Wizam Mubarak Al Kabeer. Now, this order is conferred in 2 classes as the highest knighthood honour of Kuwait, as a sign of friendship to the heads of state and Kuwait and foreign royalty. These are the visuals on your screens which tell us about the meeting which the Prime Minister had with the Emir of Kuwait, Mishal Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah. Prime Minister today is holding his engagements with the Kuwaiti leadership, and the first in the series is with the Emir of Kuwait. The Prime Minister held discussions with Emir of Kuwait, and during this meeting as well, the Prime Minister was bestowed with Kuwait's highest order. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi engaged in comprehensive discussions with Kuwait's Emir, as we see on our screens, Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah. Now, this meeting was aimed at strengthening bilateral ties. Prior to his departure, the Prime Minister talked of how India deeply values the historical connection with Kuwait that has been nurtured over generations. The Prime Minister says we are not just strong trade and energy partners, but also have shared interest in peace, security, stability and prosperity in the West Asia region. The Prime Minister looking forward to the meetings which he will have with the Kuwaiti leadership in Kuwait prior to his departure, said that it would be an opportunity to chalk out a roadmap for a futuristic partnership for the benefit of our people and the region. The Prime Minister is holding bilateral engagements with the Kuwaiti leadership. The first in the series is the meeting with Emir of Kuwait, His Highness Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah. And both the leaders discussed way forward for strengthening the bilateral relationship between India and Kuwait. Remember, the Prime Minister's visit is the visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Kuwait in the last 43 years. And that marks the significance of the visit here. Prime Minister Modi's trip is expected to strengthen the bilateral relationship, and here we see the second meeting the Prime Minister had in the series today with the Crown Prince of Kuwait, and the Prime Minister earlier held a meeting with the Emir of Kuwait. And after that, the Prime Minister held a meeting with Crown Prince Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. As we told you, the main motive of the meetings the Indian Prime Minister is having in Kuwait is to strengthen the bilateral relationship between India and Kuwait. The Prime Minister meeting the Crown Prince of Kuwait, Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. And prior to this, the Prime Minister held meeting with Emir of Kuwait, wherein the Prime Minister was honoured with the highest order of knighthood in Kuwait. Prime Minister's visit to Kuwait is expected to enhance and strengthen, deepen the bilateral ties. Different areas of consultation, different areas of talks would be energy, trade, labour cooperation, and also there are expectations of reaffirming India's commitment to strengthening ties with the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, the GCC countries. So here on our screens, we see Prime Minister Narendra Modi holding discussions with leadership of Kuwait. Earlier in the day, we also saw Prime Minister address a community event, Hala Modi, in Kuwait. He interacted with the Indian community, the Indian diaspora there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi talked of the deep historical ties India shares with Kuwait, and also during his interaction with the Indian community, the Prime Minister endorsed India as a wholesome package which the world notices, and also he talked of the future prospects India holds for investments, India holds in other regions, other areas for the world. When we talk of the Indian diaspora there are professionals like engineers, doctors, scientists. They form a large proportion of workers of the workers community there in India. The Indian business community in Kuwait has carved a niche in the markets there, in retail as well as distribution. There are, education is another important area which presents the scope of further strengthening the relationship between the two countries as we speak. These are the visuals of the bilateral engagements which the Prime Minister had with the Prime Minister of Kuwait, Prime Minister Ahmed Al Abdullah Al Ahmed Al Sabah. So delegation level talks between India and Kuwait taking place between Prime Ministers of both the countries, and after this the MOUs were signed between India and Kuwait. At present, these are the visuals of the bilateral meeting which the Prime Minister, the bilateral delegation level meeting which the Prime Minister had with Kuwaiti Prime Minister Ahmed Al Abdullah Al Ahmed Al Sabah. This is the third meeting in the series of the engagements which the Prime Minister today had in Kuwait. Earlier to this, we saw the Prime Minister address the community event, and a number of areas have been discussed during this meeting when we talk of strengthening the relationship between the two countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacting with Prime Minister of Kuwait. This visit of the Prime Minister to Kuwait is being seen as a very important diplomatic outreach effort to the Gulf region, which New Delhi considers as part of its extended neighborhood. This is the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Kuwait in 43 years. And this trip is expected to deepen the bilateral relations. And here we see the Indian leadership, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with the Indian delegation holding bilateral talks with Prime Minister of Kuwait, Prime Minister Ahmed Al Abdullah Al Ahmed Al Sabah. Remember, prior to this, on December 4th, the Foreign Minister of Kuwait paid a visit to India. Foreign Minister of Kuwait, His Excellency Abdullah Ali Al Yahya, called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, wherein they discussed measures to enhance cooperation in trade, investment, energy, technology, culture, and strong people-to-people ties. And here we see Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his bilateral engagements with the Prime Minister of Kuwait. The delegation level talks taking place here in Kuwait. Energy, trade, labour cooperation are some of the areas that can be taken up when we talk of the engagements here. Delegation level talks underway, in fact, just a while back took place in Kuwait, and after this MOUs were signed between India and Kuwait. We will get to the details of the MOUs once they are made public. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit comes at the invitation of the Kuwaiti leadership to Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit the country at the earliest opportunity. And so here we see the leadership of both the countries engaged in delegation level talks to further strengthen and deepen the bilateral ties. When we talk of the areas of cooperation between both the two countries, then hydrocarbon sector is one important area of cooperation between both the countries. The Prime Minister also mentioned about the cooperation between both the countries during the COVID pandemic. And also these were the visuals on your screens which showed Prime Minister Narendra Modi hold delegation level talks with Prime Minister of Kuwait, Prime Minister Ahmed Al Abdullah Al Ahmed Al Sabah. And after this, the MOUs were signed. We will keep you updated with the MOUs that were signed after the talks. Remember, this visit of the Indian Prime Minister to Kuwait comes after 43 years, is happening after more than 4 decades. So that is enough to point out at the expectations from this visit, wherein Prime Minister talked of how he looks forward to further strengthening the ties between India and Kuwait in his departure statement. We'll keep you posted, we'll keep you updated with the developments there in Kuwait. Meanwhile, let's turn focus to other news which we are tracking at this hour. Retired military dogs, known for their loyalty and service to the nation, are finding new homes where they can continue to spread love and joy. On the 246th Remount Veterinary Corps Day, the Indian Army gifted 12 retired military dogs to Asha schools for special children and compassionate citizens. This initiative highlights the Indian Army's deep respect for its brave four-legged soldiers who have served the nation selflessly. Let's get to updates from US now, where President Joe Biden signed the government funding bill on Saturday, averting a Christmas-time government shutdown after successful negotiations between Republicans and the Democrats in both houses of the Congress. In a statement, Biden highlighted that the bill includes disaster relief and avoids an accelerated pathway to a tax cut for billionaires. The package had earlier cleared the Republican-controlled House of Representatives with bipartisan support. The late-night vote capped a frenetic week that saw President-elect Donald Trump and his ally Elon Musk defeat an initial bipartisan deal, throwing Congress into disarray. Ahead of his January 20th inauguration, US President-elect Donald Trump announced 2 key appointments to his administration on Saturday. Billionaire Tillman Fertitta, owner of the Houston Rockets and chairman of Landry's Restaurant and Hospitality Group, has been nominated by Trump as the ambassador to Italy. Mark Burnett, the creator of Trump's long-running reality show, The Apprentice, has been appointed as special envoy to the United Kingdom. Burnett, known for producing hit shows like Survivor and Shark Tank, played a pivotal role in shaping Trump's television career. Let's take a look at other stories making it to the headlines from across the world. Spain's traditional Christmas lottery draw began in Madrid's Royal Theatre on Sunday. The children of of a school there called out the winning numbers along with the prize money. The top prize of the lottery is $417,000, known as El Gordo. The draw takes place annually on December 22nd since 1812. The 26th edition of the Harbin Ice Snow World has officially opened for visitors in Harbin, China. The theme for this year's park is Dream of Winter, Love Among Asia. The snow park is built using 300,000 cubic meters of ice and snow, which is the largest in its 26-year history. New York City on Saturday saw its first measurable December snowfall since 2021, with some areas receiving 3 to 4 inches of snow. In upstate New York, a lake-effect snowstorm earlier in the week dumped 2 to 3 feet of snow in Lakeview area near the Canadian border. Christmas festivities are in full swing across the globe, with unique celebrations spreading holiday cheer. Santas bring in smiles in a unique way. Take a look. India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati has recently launched Waves, entering the field of OTT platform. Waves provides a complete infotainment ecosystem to digital media and OTT audience. If you also want great content for free, then download Waves today. With that reminder, we end this edition of DD India Newshour. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.